want to thank you very much for tuning in to today's episode. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And today we have about a 20-minute video. We're going to be getting the last of our detailing done for our cells, the ship engines, so that we can move on to other sections of the ship this week and try to get the outside of this thing done so we can move on to the interior. But we still got quite a few things to do. And if you are on Twitch, you can always follow me on youtube.com/C/Zero Elite. And if you're watching me on YouTube, be sure to catch my live streams on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zero Elite. And let's go ahead and we're going to jump right into this. And we're going to be working mostly on the blue pinstripe on the sides of the engines in today's video. And I'm literally going to be going off the cut of the back end of the pylon, or excuse me, yeah, the pylon, and working our way down. And we're going to be just trying to line it up where we want to build. And we're going to go down one, and then we're going to go down at an angle. And we're going to do both the same thing for the left side and right side of this engine. And then we're going to do the same thing on the left engine. Because again, just going by, if I do one thing on one side, I'm going to do it on the other, just to keep everything lined up exactly where it needs to be. Now this blue line, eventually I'm going to get rid of this blue line. This is going to be more of a guideline on the sides to get the pinstriping, but this line that we're doing above it, this is really just to get the alignment right without really eyeing it, you know. But once we have everything lined up where we want it, then we'll get rid of the extra blocks. So we're looking pretty good. What we really need to do is add a top and bottom pinstripe. And I'm going to bring this almost all the way back, and I'll show you where to stop it at because I'll count that out. I hate that. Sometimes when you're just throwing them down like that, it'll just stop placing it and you have to go back again. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm literally just building it all the way back. That's not how it is on the Cerritos, but for right now, we're just building it all the way back. Once we get the stripes down, we'll go back and we'll shave them up, so this way both sides match. But this is just an easy way of doing it, with saving us a little bit of time without sitting there and just counting every single one. It's a little bit smarter just to build it all the way back and then just slowly shave it off the back end. And the lost placement, let's pick that up again. And I haven't had a video in the last 2 days. I apologize for that. I've had some stuff going on, and I've been trying to get the my streams going on Twitch. So if you follow me on YouTube and you've been asking me about my streams, I'm definitely doing this for you all, and be sure to follow me on my Twitch channel because that will be really your prime source for seeing all of my content first. It'll be dropping on Twitch before it drops on YouTube, so you're getting this a day early on Twitch. All right, so we've got the top side done for both the left and right side engine. And what I'm trying to do is get my spacing here. So we're just going to go off the original plan of building on this last one, going all the way back. And this is just literally, we're building it all the way back off of the last angled block. Pretty simple, but for whatever reason, if you get stuck, let me know in the comments section and I'll try to see if I can help you out. But pretty cut and dry. We're building on the last flat line before it starts going down at a cut on the angle on the lower side of the engine. But so far we're in pretty good shape. We're continuing on, and not a heck of a lot to do today. This is really going to be the focus of today's episode, but I didn't want to edit too much out of this. I wanted to show you how I did this so you can replicate this on your ship as well. But after we do this, the rest of the week we're going to be focused on building out the rest of the lower hull, which is going to be a lot of fun. The struts that actually hold the lower hull onto the pylon or the engines, I had a little bit of a problem with, and I'll show you what I mean in tomorrow's video. But I was able to come up with a nice pattern that ended up working out. But there was a tiny bit of a trial period to getting there, and that's just going to happen sometimes when you're making these ships from scratch. You're just going to be hit with scenarios. You're going to have to try out a couple of different things before you end up on something that you really like. And that's even a case with these engines, because I'm still not set on the front end of them. I feel at one point I'm going to be coming back to give them a once over to make them look a little bit better. But I'd say the entire white construct on the back end, I'm not going to be changing that too much. I mean, we're going to be making them a little bit longer, but we won't do that today. But definitely there's going to be a couple of things I do want to change on the engines, but little tiny things to enhance it a little bit. I think we took off 10, so let's count that again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Obviously, they're not going to be at the same stopping at the same angle, because if you look at both the top and bottom ones, they stop at different points. But the main thing here to take away right now is I'm deleting 10 blocks off of each row. So they're not going to be at the exact same height, and we want that because that's how it looks on the Cerritos. But doing it this way is a heck of a lot easier than just counting all these blocks out individually to get to this point. All right, we've got one more side to do. See, just that little detail there helps to bring the engines out a little bit more. Now we're going to get rid of the access or builder lines just on the upper side. Don't delete your pinstripe that we just added, but this above line, we're going to get rid of that because we don't need that anymore. I definitely love using these builder lines here. You don't even have to use blue for the builder line. You can use any color that you want, really, as long as it stands out from your build so that it's easier to look at and, you know, uh, delete from your build. That's not a part of it. Because if we used the white concrete, yeah, it would have been a level thicker, but there would be other scenarios where that line could have blended in with the ship. So really the decision that we really need to make now is, am I happy with the thickness of the pinstripe? Because here's the thing, I could either go double thick with the blue, or I can encase them in a light gray concrete pinstripe going around the blue. I think that might work better because it'll make the blue pop. So what we're going to start to do now is we're going to, this line now, or added pinstripe, we're going to build this into the ship. Now I'm only going to go off the edges because everything in between, I'm actually just going to mass delete, so it's a little bit easier. So that's why I'm doing each end of it. So this way I know where to stop on both sides. And then when we come back, after we get rid of all these blocks, it'll be a little bit easier to add them in. You'll see what I mean in just a couple of moments. Need to make sure I get the front side of the inside of this engine, then we got to do the left. So far, so good. We're looking pretty good. We're going to get this left side done. And I've had a couple of people ask me in the comment section if I've been watching Discovery, and I haven't seen the last two episodes. If you check them out, definitely know what you think about Star Trek Discovery in the comments section. I want to try to catch up on that show this week. I saw that they were going back and doing some stuff with the Mirror universe, which I think is pretty cool. Looking forward to checking that episode out. But I've been also been having a lot of renewed interest in a build on the U.S.S. Discovery itself. In fact, if there's any ship builds you would like to see me do, let me know in the comments section. Definitely would love to hear from you as far as what ships you would like to see me build, both on Twitch and on YouTube. And you never know, if I get enough people asking me for it and it's something I can get behind, I'll definitely do it. I want to briefly get back in what I got going on here. You can see now we've gotten both the front end and the back end of our line set up. So now we're going to get rid of all the axis in between. And it'll be super easy, to fill in the blanks. We'll just go back again and delete the row of white concrete and then add in another row of the blue. But no, I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm going to be doing the Discovery A from season 2, or excuse me, season 3. And I'm 100% intent on doing that ship, but I want to wait until I can either get my hands on a model or at least a 3D model that I can find online, because I've noticed with more pictures that have been coming out, there's a lot of things that they changed on that ship. The lower part of the belly of the lower hull is completely different on the Discovery A as opposed to the original one. And I really want to get my hands on a detailed version of that ship, so this way when I build it, it's accurate and I don't have to go back in and then do another tutorial, because the first one that I did ended up, having a wrong section in it or whatever. But hopefully they get it out soon. I know that it's a hit and miss with their ships that they make, because there'll be some ships that they'll turn into models right away, and then there'll be other ones that they just will completely forget about. Like a perfect example, the Enterprise A from Star Trek Beyond. They never made a model of that ship even to this day, but they made models of the Franklin, and just kind of is what it is. But hopefully, I think that they're going to make a model of Discovery A. I think that will probably happen, even if it's a small Eagle Moss. I mean, as long as I can get my hands on a 3D model and actually see it, whether it's a generated one I'm looking at on a computer or in my hands, that's really what I need. And as soon as I get that, then I'll probably be doing a tutorial on the Discovery in the not too distant future. But there's still a lot of cool things to come on both the YouTube channel and Twitch. Once we're done with the Cerritos, we'll be building a large-scale version of the U.S.S. Enterprise D, which I'm really excited about. I've actually been building out this build in preparation of building Enterprise D, because the Cerritos and Enterprise D have some similar traits in between the two of them. Specifically the side shape of the saucer, and then how the deflector dish lower hull section is shaped is very similar to the Enterprise D. And I've never built any ships from the next generation era. I'm actually excited to really get into doing that, because up until this point, all the ships that I've built are from Kirk's era and before that. So I think this is going to be a good thing. It'll help me branch out. But again, if there's any stuff that you want to see me do, drop a comment below, or let me know what you think about this build or Star Trek Discovery, or maybe there's something else that you want me to check out. Let me know in the comment section. I definitely would love to hear from you. But now that we've got our uh, outline for the pinstripe removed, now we're going to take out the white row of concrete behind it. Want to make sure that we stop right before the blue line, so we don't take that away, because that's our marker where we have to stop. And the same thing going forward. You want to make sure that you're not just going ham on the delete button. You want to go fast enough at a pace where we can get this done quickly, but not fast to a point that you're going to make a drastic mistake. And now we're going to go back and we're going to fill in this hole with the blue concrete. And we're going to repeat this process for the top row and then the right side of this engine. And then we're going to do the same thing again on the left side. There's actually quite a few ships that I've been eyeing, and I've had some other people asking me if I'm going to do Voyager. I'm definitely planning on doing Voyager. In fact, I really would like to do the USS Voyager J from season 3 of Discovery on Starship Evo. I think I could really pull it off on that game, and I think that could come out pretty cool. And I've been trying to get my hands on some more pictures of the Constitution class that was from uh, season 3 of Discovery, the future version of it. But I haven't been able to get enough screenshots to where I could say I'm confident enough where I can make a build of it. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to get more of that stuff, and maybe even some more Section 31 ships. But I know for sure that I'm going in the direction of next gen and ships from this era, and I want to do like the Titan. Titan would be a cool build to do. I even had somebody mention Stargazer the other day. I think Stargazer would actually be a pretty fun build. But a lot of this I like to get the community involved with because, if I'm building something that you want to see, hopefully you'll tune in the channel on that. So definitely know you want to see me build in the comments section. You never know, because believe it or not, the majority, if not all of my builds have actually been uh, submitted requests from the community. So I definitely appreciate that and keep those requests coming because, this is something that I'm doing indefinitely. I've actually really have enjoyed doing these tutorials. And once I've gotten the hang of it, it's been getting easier and easier. And even the Cerritos, we are rocking on this build. Like we're getting it done so much faster than the speed that I got the Discovery Enterprise done in. And that was just learning how to do a couple of different things in the process of making the tutorial and trying to do it in a shorter time frame without wasting unnecessary time. Not that I did anything wrong with the tutorial for the Enterprise. I mean, I think it came out as good as it could have been for my very first full-scale tutorial, but there was a lot of places that I could have, shaved down some time to shorten the length of the series because I did not intend for it to go out as long as it did. I was really expecting it to go out maybe to 50 episodes at the max, and then it inflated out to, I think it was like 83 or something like that when it was done. It's that whole tutorial series was a blur at this point because it felt like it was like a 3-month period because it was, but I mean, as far as the time to build it and then doing all the videos and everything, like it was pretty much nonstop for that 3-month period. But I really enjoyed it, and there's definitely a lot more to come. I don't think that we're going to be going out nearly as far on the Cerritos, though. We're only on episode 10, and we've gotten most of the ship exterior built at this point. Now, we haven't built the lower exterior hull, but we're going to be doing starting to work on that in tomorrow's episode. And once that gets going, we're really going to start rocking. Now, see, I made a mistake there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count out to 10 to make sure that I'm building this on the right block. Okay, perfect, and I am. That's something that you can do too. If you accidentally delete your blue marker, just go back and count again just to make sure that you're stopping on the right block, because that may not necessarily be important to some people, but staying consistent and within your proportions on your ship is one of the many things that start to line up when you're build. It's the quality of the build and the placement of where you're putting things, if it matches up on both sides. And when you start to have things that aren't matching up, that's when your ship starts to fall apart. So definitely, keep an eye on that. And I mean, this thing is really, she's starting to look like the Cerritos. Other than the lower hull, I mean, it's really starting to take on that identity. I love how this thing is coming out. I think maybe what I might do here in the front on the curve is thicken that blue line up by 1. Because that line, it's very weak. So just in the front here, we're just going to add an extra row of blue. We're going to do that on this right side. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. Because yeah, when you look at it from super far back, like that cut, like it's super weak in comparison to the blue stripe that's going down the side of the ship. So I want to bring that out just a little bit more, and I think adding that extra line there is definitely going to do that. Now we're going to go with the light gray concrete, like I was talking about in the beginning of the episode, and we're going to essentially just make an outline around our pinstripe. And the main reason I decided not to make the blue pinstripe too thick is I would have had to have gone either up and down one. If I would have went in the middle and made it thicker, then it wouldn't have looked right, because we would have ended up having a one gap hole in between, and we wouldn't have been able to fill in with the light gray concrete, because I really do think that this makes a difference. It helps the blue pop and stick out more, especially on the white concrete. And this is one of the things that you can do to your ship, where you can get away with not having a ton of detail on your ship, especially with the Cerritos, because you have to think this is an animated ship. You know, they've never made a real life version of it. So they're going to take certain cues from that. You know, it's not going to be as detailed as like a real life, or considered a real life model like the Enterprise D, for example. So the Cerritos is a little bit more simplistic. So we want to try to build off of that if we can. But what we're going to do is, I'm not going to do this on camera because I want to speed this process up just slightly. What we're going to do now off camera is I'm going to go around our blue pinstripe and do a row of the light gray. I want to make sure to mind the cuts on the back end. You don't want to have any doubles of the light gray, because then it'll be wrong. And when we come back tomorrow, I'll show you the finished thing. You want to do this for both the right side and left side of the right side engine, and then the same thing for both the left side engine on both sides. Not a super long video today, but still a very important step so that we can get into the rest of the lower hull. I'm going to try to, I got to edit that out tomorrow. But I want to try to bang that out in one video if I can, but I don't know how that's going to go. But once we get through that, then we're going to be filling in the upper hull, and then we'll be on to the interior before you know it. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for me today. Again, you know, not a super long video, but I just want to thank you again for tuning into today's content. And if you did enjoy this video, please help me out and hit that like and subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, please follow me on youtube.com/C/Zero Elite. Like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to follow me on twitch.tv/Zero Elite. And in fact, you can always catch my new Twitch streams Sundays through Thursday nights, typically between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern. And my YouTube schedule, you can always catch my new Starship Evo builds, typically Monday mornings, released around 10 a.m. And my new Minecraft episodes, Tuesdays through Fridays in the mornings around 10 a.m. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. I just want to thank you again. I hope everybody has a happy and safe week, and I'll catch you on the next episode.